What are the highest selling t-shirts? And wouldn't it be cool if we could see all the data on them and actually see exactly how much money they were making? Well, I've been using a tool for the last couple of years, but I haven't been using it for print on demand. I've actually been using it for my Amazon FBA business to find private label products that have good potential that we could sell. Now, I just want to quickly say this video is not sponsored at all by this tool or by anyone. I just thought I'd make a quick video about it. So I was doing a bit of research last week and I thought I would try using this tool that's called Zon Guru, and I thought I would use it for print on demand. And I was quite surprised to see that all the information that I usually get for private label products, I was also getting that for t-shirts. I could see, the reviews, the sales, revenue, how good the listings were, everything. And I'm going to show that all to you in this video. Now, you may have never heard of this tool called Zon Guru, and it's very normal. It's a bit of a random tool. It's very similar to a tool called Jungle Scout. Now, that's a lot more popular, a lot more well-known. So if you've heard of Jungle Scout, this tool, Zon Guru, is basically the same. The reason I prefer Zon Guru is just because I think it's a slightly bit cheaper last time I checked, and I think they offer just a bit more information, and that's what I like. But anyways, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to see the top 3 selling t-shirts for Father's Day, and I'm just doing Father's Day, but this can work for any niche at all. But we're going to see the top selling t-shirts, and I'm going to break down all that data for you. As well as that, I'm also going to show you how you can take one of those phrases from the top 3 selling t-shirts and actually create your own design. I'm going to be using Photoshop, but you can use GIMP, you can use Photopea, Photopea, don't know how it's said, or you can use Placeit, you can use Vexels, you can use any platform that you want to use. I'm just going to use Photoshop because that's what I have here. We're going to start with a simple search of Amazon merch just for Father's Day. Okay, so if we put Father's Day in, we don't even need to put t-shirt, we could just put Father's Day. And this is what comes up. Okay, there's tons of stuff. Now, obviously, we do get things that aren't t-shirts because we didn't put t-shirt in, but that's absolutely fine. Because, well, with print on demand, you don't just have to sell t-shirts. But, we are going to sell t-shirts, so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. Now, just because I put Father's Day t-shirts in, it doesn't mean that's the only thing that this works for. We could do this for any niche, for any idea. We could just search for anything. And what we're going to do is, do you see this little Zon Guru thing here at the bottom? We need to click that, and then this will pop up, and it will start going round and round, and that's loading all the information. And there is a lot of information to be loaded. Now, before we start talking about all of this data and before I start explaining it to you, please don't forget to smash that like button if you're liking this video so far. If you are new here, then please hit that subscribe button. You can massively help me get to 50,000 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get back to the video. So now this is what it looks like, okay? We've got a whole bunch of different things happening here, and I know it looks confusing. Different colors, you've got like a rainbow thing here, you've got a score, search volume. Let's just quickly talk about it. So firstly, we've got the brand, we've got the category, we have the price. So this is all just good information to know, especially when you're doing research. We then have the sales, right? And this is monthly sales, right? So it's cool to see, this is doing 1,200 sales, and you can just hover over it and it will show you a picture of the t-shirt so you know which one it's related to. You then have the BSR, which is the bestseller rating or the bestseller rank, right? Whatever you want to call it. And you can see some of these are 43,000, 15,000, 16,000. And with a bestseller rank that is so unbelievably low, that shows good demand, right? The demand for these are insane. Really, really insane. Okay, and then you have the ratings, which is just a number of customer reviews, basically. You have the review rating, which is the average rating, so 4.8, 4.8, 4. That's just based on the number of reviews you're getting and if they're 1 to 5. You then have the LS, which is the listing score. So basically, Zon Guru do their trickery and they kind of, value the quality of a listing, right? So based on the title, the keywords, the bullets, description, all these kind of things, even the images, and they kind of give it a score. Okay, so these are pretty good scores, 8, 9, 7.5. These are good scores. You then have, if it's a seller of FBA merch or Amazon vendor, you then have how many sellers, and then you have just other actions that you can do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually organize by revenue. We want the highest revenue first because we want to see which ones are making the most money, right? And we can see $15.95, $16.99, $16.95. So in this video, we're looking at the top 3. The first one is, you can't scare me, I have 2 daughters. That is a very, very, very good t-shirt phrase, and we're going to actually look into that a bit later. Another one we have is, can't work today, my arm is in a cast. Just a little fishing pun there, which is also very good. And the last one is, I don't need Google, I have, daughters know everything. My daughters know everything. Now, I'm going to ignore this one a bit because I don't think you'd be able to sell this. In fact, I don't even know if they could sell this, just because obviously Google, you can't use the Google logo. So we're going to ignore that one. But what we are going to look into is this number 1 shirt, which is, you can't scare me, I have 2 daughters, selling at $15.95. An average of 2,000 sales a month, revenue of $32,000 a month from one t-shirt. That is crazy. The BSR is 8,280, and I mean, this BSR is unheard of for print on demand. So that's really, really cool. It's got a lot of reviews. It's got a good rating. It's got a good listing score. So now that we know that this t-shirt, let's click it as well. We can click it and go into it. Now we know that this t-shirt, is doing really, really well. We can kind of have a look and see we can make something slightly better, can't we? First, what we have to do is make sure that this isn't copyrighted. So let's go over to the USPTO website, because at the moment we kind of only care about selling in America. It's the biggest market, you'd make the most money there. So let's just sell in that market. You have to go to basic word search, and then we have to, what was the phrase? You don't scare me, I have 2 daughters. Nothing there. I think I may have spelled daughters all the way around. I did. Submit query again. Nothing there. Amazing. Right, and now we can even change the spelling of 2 to TWO. See what comes up. Nothing. So this means that this design isn't copyrighted in any way whatsoever. So you can go and create the design. Now, let me just quickly say something, because obviously I don't want to be telling you to go and rip off people's designs. Just because that design isn't copyrighted, it doesn't mean you can go and just copy it exactly as it is. You can use the phrase, right, but make the design different. Make it completely unique. Try and make it your own. Don't just go and copy this person's design. Firstly, I don't think it's the best design. It's very, very simple. It's just a couple of words. But don't copy this design. Make your own design. Okay? Please make your own design. I don't want you copying anyone, because that's not what I want to be saying on this channel. And I would even go a step further and say, you can kind of mix this around. You can't scare me, I have 3 daughters. You can't scare me, I have 1 daughter. You can't scare me, I have 2 sons. You can kind of broaden this niche a lot more than this person is currently doing, and hopefully get sales across a range of t-shirts. And you can see over here, right? You can't scare me, I have 2 daughters. You can't scare me, I have 2 boys. You can't scare me, I have 3 boys. So people are doing it, right? It's always this same design, and I believe it's the same person. So this is the design they're going for. So you can try a different design. Right, now we're up to the part of this video where I want to show you about designing, how to design, and that kind of thing. So the things I use, the platforms I use, well, I'm going to use Photoshop in this video, but you could use Photopia, whatever it is. Does not matter. You can use that platform. You could use GIMP, Placeit, Vexels. But what I tend to do is I tend to go to Vexels, have a look to get some ideas, see if I can get some inspiration, maybe look on Placeit, Etsy, Google, and then I'll go over to Photoshop and I'll start designing something from scratch. So starting with going over to Vexels, I search for daughters. Very, very simple. And this came up. Well, firstly, this one came up, which I thought was really cool. You can't scare me, I have 2 daughters. Now already I prefer this design. I think it's a really, really cool design. However, I wouldn't necessarily go for this exact design, because again, I kind of want something unique. And there are things about this design that I don't like, but I can use this design as inspiration. Then I also saw this design that I really liked. And now with Vexels, you can download, all these designs, and you can use them. Usually they're editable with Illustrator, and then you can or they're editable with Photopia as well, Photopia. That word is annoying me. And then you can kind of mix it around, remove things, add things, whatever you want to do. Now, just so you know, with Vexels, if you cancel your subscription, you no longer have the rights to those t-shirts. That's good to know. However, I don't think that's a big deal. And if you want to get Vexels, the link is in the description. But this was another one. I kind of like this. I would get rid of the outnumbered dad of girls, and I would just keep the couch with the 2 girls. The only thing that I'm thinking for this design is it's very specific that the girls are young, I want to try and relate this design to a much wider audience of fathers. And sometimes, they could be talking about their 25-year-old girls, their 18-year-old girls, or their 2-year-old girls. So because this picture has, what looks like an 8-year-old girl in it, a 10-year-old girl, it kind of, I know it's a cartoon and everything, but it kind of limits the audience size that you're going for, right? Because some people might be put off by that. So for this, we're just going to stick to a simple text-based design. Let's head over to Photoshop, which I've got up over here already. And I'm going to make something that looks somewhat like, well, I want a mixture of that one on Amazon, but then I also want to make it my own. And I like this one, I really, really like this one that has the big 2. So we're going to do something around that. And I like these little graphics they've used. So we're going to search for some graphics as well. If I just search for some graphics, we can see what comes up. We've got a whole bunch of different things that come up. These cool arrows, some cool designs, right? And we can go through, they've got probably thousands and thousands and thousands of graphics. But let's head over to Photoshop, and I'm going to just do a simple time lapse of what is going on here. Okay, so time lapse is going to start about now. Right, that was a longer than planned for Photoshop session, just because I went into it really not having planned this design. I wanted to just see what would happen if I just came in with an empty mind, just with the designs that I had seen on this video. I like doing that because then it feels more realistic it feels more realistic rather than if everything is planned to the T. Because this is what it's going to be like for you when you're doing research and you're creating designs. It's going to take you time. You're going to make mistakes. You might have to, make better ones. The ones you make might not be so good. So this is what I have, and you can see it's a bit of a mixture of the two from Vexels and from Amazon. I've got this font up here, which is similar with the scare in bold, which is similar to the Amazon one. This too is actually the same font as the Vexels, but I've kind of moved it all around, mixed it around, made it a bit of a smaller footprint on the t-shirt. And again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I've left a little gap here as well because I was thinking I was actually going to include 2 faces of 2 girls there just to kind of help illustrate the daughter's aspect. But then I decided I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to do that. But this is what it is. And the important element for me is this is very easy to read. You can't scare me. I have 2 daughters. Very easy to read. I like the blue. I've put the blue there as well. And just looking at it off the offhand or looking at it really small, it's very, very easy to always read it. You can see I've zoomed all the way out and you can still clearly see what it says, which is the aim that I was trying to go for here. The only word that is slightly hard to read is the end of daughters, but because you've got the dort, it's very obvious to know what the next couple of words are going to be. So that is my design. It's not amazing. I'm sure most of you will probably hate it, and that's absolutely fine. But once I've done this, I can now go on to the next step. Once I'm all done, I can now upload it to my Amazon merch account for Amazon to review it and then hopefully get some sales. I hope you liked this video, and I think I'm going to do more like this, but not necessarily around Father's Day or Mother's Day, but just around specific niches like coffee or dog or whatever, just to see which t-shirts are selling the most, which have the most demand, which are making the most money. I thought it'd be really cool to share that information, especially for those who don't want to go and purchase Zonguru. Now, speaking of purchasing Zonguru, if you do want to do that, there will be a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so it's a bit of a kickback that I get for making these videos. However, if you don't want to, buy it through my affiliate link, you can just go to their website and, buy it however you want. I'm not bothered. Like I said, this video isn't sponsored, but I've put the affiliate link down there if you want to get it. And finally, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I will see you in tomorrow's video.